Hey guys, it's Professor Freak. Haven't done a lesson in a while, so thought I'd give you guys something new to look at. All 5 of you that watch this. What we're going to be doing is sort of looking at basically starting off a couple of real easy things. Very necessary for playing rock guitar. First is really an easy add-on to what we worked on in the last lesson, that A minor pentatonic. It's the blues scale, and the reason why it's such an easy add-on to the blues scale is because you're only adding one note. So if you can play A minor pentatonic, you can play the blues scale. And we found, that was pretty easy. Now the one note we're adding is, sometimes they call it the blue note or they call it the flat fifth. In this situation, since we worked on A minor pentatonic and we're going to do A blues, this is going to be E flat. And it doesn't sound too good by itself, and really if you play it, sort of hold the note there on the scale, it sounds kind of weird. But, when you kind of use it in the context of the scale, it adds color to it. So, the way you play this, just like you do A minor pentatonic, A, C, D, E, G, A, and the only note we're adding, again, is that E flat. So we've got A, C, D, E flat, E. So you're doing this thing on the 5th string. So A, C, D, D sharp or E flat, E, G, A. And then if we keep going, we hit the C up here, C, D, and then with your pinky, that's on the 8th fret of the 3rd string. Then we hit the E with our index finger. Then we hit the G, and then hit C. You can go up to, A, and then you can go up to the C if you want. So you can see, you play it and you use it kind of, to solo with. And it works really well. So should be something easy for you guys to work on. Just practice, This is probably where it's going to be the hardest. Again, if you can do A minor pentatonic, you can do that. So then the next thing, and really this is everybody in rock and roll does this, this is the power chord. And in all honesty, you guys may already know this. If so, great, more power to you. But I'll still go over it anyways. Power chords are really simple chords that sound good with distortion, and that's why people use them, because they sound good. So what it is, we'll stick sort of in this A minor pentatonic feel. You put your finger on the root, your index finger, and then you go up 2 frets and onto the next string. So 7th fret, we're playing that E. So you got A, E. And you can just move that up the neck. It literally stays the same. That's what's nice about it. And then you can even add on one more note. You can add the octave of the root. You can use the open string too, and you just notice it. then you can take that across the strings. However, once you get to the 4th string, you have to do things a little differently. So this would be a C. No, she needs to be a G. And if you do sort of you can do the normal shape if you're just playing 2. You play the G here, and then you're playing the, what note is that? That's D. You're playing the D, normally like you would 2 frets up on the next string. But if you want to add the octave in, because the top 2 strings are, you know, relatively tuned half a step lower, you have to move your finger up half step. So the octave is actually on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. So you get kind of this shape where your index finger's on the G, then 2 frets up on the next string. You've got, you know, the D there, and then to play the octave you go to the next string and then 1 fret up. So you can move it across strings, just once you get there, you have to change, and then same thing on the 1st string. So now if we want to do a C, since the note we want to play is G, we have to go up to the 8th fret on the 2nd string. So that means we have to use our pinky. And then the octave is the 8th fret on the 1st string, so we have to use our pinky there as well. So real simple. Just use the nose, and you can take the scales we've learned and just play them. So that's like a C major. And that's more of an A minor feel. And power chords work both as major and minor because all you've got is you've got the root and the 5th. And usually it's the 2nd note you play in a chord, which is the 3rd. And that determines whether something's major or minor. So, you know, for A minor, I'm going A, C, E. And for A major, I'm going A, E sharp, or F. A, F, and then C. Or excuse me. I mean C sharp, A, C sharp, and then E. But for the power chords, we're cutting out the 3rd altogether, so it works out real well. None of this so that's why it works in both major and minor contexts, which makes it really easy to use again, and it sounds good with distortion. When you get a lot of times, you know, the major and minor 3rds don't sound as good when you get distortion. It starts to break up a little too much. But yeah, so, and then another thing you can do relatively easy, it's basically sort of a variation of the power chord, is double stops. Which is basically just playing the top 2 strings and not playing the root, the low note. So, going with a simple A power chord, instead of playing the 5th fret of the 1st or the 6th string, I'm playing the 7th fret of the 5th string and the 7th fret of the 4th string. So that's it. I mean, that's it. You can just move that around just like power chords. Just again, once you get to the 3rd string, you got to remember you got to go up a half step or a fret on the 2nd string. And then the first string, since you know the B string or the second string and the first string are tuned the same, you can go back to. So that's double stops. I mean, basically just power chords. You know, again, this stuff's real easy, and just practice it. You know, with the scales. You know. So we're doing like an A minor pentatonic now. There's that blue note in there. And then, yeah, it should be really easy to get down. And you may, I mean, if you can play double stops, you can. If you could already play Smoke on the Water, you can play double stops. So this just gives you an idea sort of what they are and how they work. So we're going to get a little more advanced from now on. So again, if you got any questions, put them in the comments section below. So thanks, guys.